Shalom, shalom, shalom. We want to start off by giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakadash. I want to give a double honors to the elders and to the apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, who do rule well, and the salutation to the hopeful elect. It's the brother Damawa for the GMS Cleveland branch, coming back with another quick video. And as you can see in the title right here, for Richard from Boston, page, it says boots on the ground to fight Armageddon. All right, and this is true. Okay, but listening to the information he's bringing out, everybody is really facing the notion or facing the reality. All right, which our apostles been teaching. All right, 40 years plus. Okay, the truth of the matter. All right, because more than anything, these people don't want the prophecies to come to pass. All right, they are okay with America. All right, besides the oppression and the cost of living going up. All right, they will have it no other way. Okay, and let's not forget that this is the reason why these things is coming upon this place. All right, because these people have lived comfortably in wickedness and in sin. All right, and this is a place where righteous judgment never go forth. All right, and instead of wanting a righteous place, all right, to be installed, meaning the kingdom, all right, these people is okay with, as they would say in the streets, slamming each other out. All right, but sticking to the point. I'm about to play this clip, all right, and it's basically going to go into, all right, the realization, all right, that these Edomites especially, all right, because Jake is not even paying attention. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, all right, they're not paying attention to the main stage, all right, they're caught up in their own personal lives, all right, but these so-called Edomites, right, so-called white men, they're livid, all right, over what Trump they got them into, okay, because more and more, again, more and more, what our apostles never been preaching, it's not just racist guys on the corner anymore, all right. This is starting to look like the reality, all right, the pill that these people have to swallow, all right, and just like children, all right, they don't want to take it, okay. But let's go here real quick. Psalms 21:1. Salakia. Proverbs 21:1. It says the king heart, which that word heart goes into loud, all right, which is your mind. All right, so the king's mind is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it wherever so he will. All right, and we know what his will is. All right, matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. Revelations 16, verse 16, straight to the point. Start at verse 15. It says, "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth, right, and keepeth his garment." All right, meaning what? Watching for these prophecies, watching for these wars and rumors of wars, right? Watching for the return of the Lord, and keepeth his garments, right? What that mean? This correct breakdown, this correct understanding, all right? Because with this correct understanding, you're fully clothed, all right? You're not naked. You're not without understanding of what's going on, all right? 'Cause a lot of our people, they're really out here vulnerable, all right, to every whim of doctrine, right, to every understanding, whatever sounds good to them, they believe, All right, because they have no foundation. All right. It says, least he walked naked and they see his shame. Right, man. Because again, our people, right, are in a shameful mindset right now. Right. They put on these terms, black, right, proud to be a nigga, all this gang culture. All right. And this is just an example. All right. Just to give you an example. All right. And so now these nations look at the so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, all right, as the degenerates, all right, and somewhat we are 2/3 of us, at least, okay, because the Lord allowed our people to be walked on and beat up by these other nations, all right, for prophecy's sake, okay. Verse 16, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, all right. And I'm gonna keep it there at surface level 1, all right, because we can go more into that, all right. But I just wanted to show you, all right, that Armageddon is in the Bible, all right. And again, this is the day of the Lord, all right. So this is what the Lord planned, okay. And then we just read in Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart, the king's mind is in the hand of the Lord, all right. So if Donald Trump is blowing these small situations out of proportion, right, and causing all these nations to team up against him, that goes to show you that that's what the Lord wants, all right, because this is what he's promised, all right, and this is the way that America, aka Babylon the Great, is going to go out. It's going to go down.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's just what I think, but what about... Wow.
Perhaps a dozen of them gave a talk to their service personnel claiming that Donald Trump had been anointed by Jesus. What sacrilege is this? What blasphemy?
You see, and this is why people that look like Donald Trump is up in the uproar. All right, out of everything that this man has done, that these people have been caught red-handedly, they haven't reacted like this on national TV or their podcasts, except for when Donald Trump is basically making them the Edomites. All right, making them the Edomites, and that's why these people are very. They don't want to tolerate that, because not only do they got to hear about these so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans in the major cities preaching on the street corner, calling them devils, but this nigga openly does devilish shit, all right, and then put his face on it, all right, and so they're guilty by association, all right, and they don't want that rap, okay, because again, all this prophecy coming out, all right, all this information coming out about the people that the Lord hates, all right, and the reason why he hates them, all right, and they don't want to foot that bill at all right, but it's too late. Let's get this real quick, because when you read the Bible, when you go into prophecy, everything that got something to do with the nation, that's the hammer of the whole earth, right, that's having his way and nobody can stop him, right? Eventually that nation is going to get put down by the Lord's Son himself. He's coming back to take these nations out of power, and that's the part of the Bible that they don't tell you guys, all right? That's where it stop at, okay, when it comes to interfering with their power structure that they have set up in the world, all right? And that's why they want to eventually put that RFID chip in you, okay, because they basically trying to hijack the Lord's creation, all right, which is what? You, okay? Isaiah 14, let me get straight to the point. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, right? And we know Lucifer, in this world, these people, when they play with words so much, they make you think that Lucifer has something to do with the devil, but it doesn't. All right, Lucifer just means the morning star, if I'm saying that correctly. All right, the light bearer. All right, basically the one who holds all secret information and things of that nature. All right, and just like when the Lord comes, he's going to be Lucifer. All right, it says, "Son of the morning, how art thou cut down from the ground, cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations." And that's the point. All right, basically Trump going on his campaign. All right, to do what he want with these other nations, include Venezuela, right, and these other nations that we know that them and the Brits and the France, right, all the Edomites before them that had conquered these lands. What they're doing, they're going back and trying to make sure that that conquering, right, is still there. All right, I remember a couple months ago, Africa was beefing with the French, and basically the French was coming out and saying that they had they own rights to that land because they basically put those people under subjection and they were still under contract. Okay, so they were there to let you know that we're still slaves. All right, and they were there to let you know that the so-called white man still thinks, all right, or he still know, all right, that what his people did, all right, shedding all that blood to establish what we call the world today, right? We're still living in that power structure. Okay, and so that's why we need to be saved. All right, our people think that they're saved already because they're able to go buy and shop at their will for the last 60 years, all right, 70 years. Okay, but not knowing that these people have a deep, darker plan for them. All right, but again, it says, "Oh, how thou fallen from heaven, oh Lucifer." All right, because again, the so-called white man, his whole power structure, all right, this nigga has been running shit since the Greek Empire. All right, in hindsight, right, in our eyes, that seemed to be a long time. All right, but in the grand scheme of things, all right, in the grand scheme of things, it's not long at all. All right, but what's even more impressive is how fast America is falling. All right, and that's what it means. How thou fallen from heaven. All right, because heaven is another word for living high on the hall, basically. All right, it's your world. All right, it's your paradise, basically. All right, and the white man, this has been his paradise. He's been the one that's been running shit. All right, for the last couple hundreds of years, damn near 1,000 years plus. All right, but it says, "O Lucifer, son of the morning, how thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations." All right, and so Trump doing this, all right, basically puts a bullseye on the white man's back. All right, and they're not feeling this because again, they hear what we saying. They hear us calling them Edomites and devils. All right, so right now more than anything, it's just like any other case that's in court. All right, because we know that the Lord has an inquisition out in this place. He has an inquisition out on the leaders of this place. All right, so right now, as the leaders of these nations, right, especially the white man, the elite, right, as they're so-called rushing to try to fulfill their new world order, all right, the Lord is rushing, all right, to close their case so they can come on in for judgment. All right, so the judgment of them can start. All right, but just like any other case, all right, the person that's basically that's basically on trial, right? He's trying to prolong that. All right, he's trying to find evidence to get up out of that. Okay, he's trying to fight his case back. All right, and that's what these so-called white people be doing. All right, by lying. All right, by admitting that or want to change the history and saying that slavery never happened. All of these things is them trying to get out their seat of being Esau Edom. All right, when they have been in charge of the religion, all right, for the last couple hundreds of years, and these niggas never taught anything out the Bible. But again, it took the real people of the Lord to come through, tell the truth, and now all these things is at the forefront. Everything that's in these news press conferences and what's coming out on these small hatters is because of the man on these street corners, starting our beloved apostle Tahar on down, and even his apostle. Okay, it started with them. All right, because if the truth of the matter never got out here, these people wouldn't have to defend it. Right, they wouldn't have to explain things that people want to understand because they would never ask those questions. All right, so we know who the real enemy is. All right, but all this is really, it really has nothing to do with us either. All right, it's all the spirit and the will of the Lord. All right, and he the one who said it was going to go down like this. Okay.
Me is this: Jesus anointed Donald Trump to murder little schoolgirls. Why? According to the religious, obscurantist, apocalyptic, prophetic, religious maniacs that are running amok in the United States, it was literally to bring about Armageddon.
Yes. Exactly what it's for. Right? Exactly what it's for. And if they would have been teaching you the ways of the Lord, this wouldn't be so much of a surprise. All right? A lot of you people, as the scriptures just said that we read, he's going to come like a thief in the night. So he's going to come unexpectedly. All right? You still think you got time to change. You still think this or that, or you trying to get married. All right? When what the Lord wanted to be done is about to interrupt everybody's life. All right. All right. Everybody's life is about to come to a halt. All right. Everybody is about to be confronted with what the Lord wants, man. All right. All this, you was born to live lawfully, and you trying to find your way in life. All that shit is about to be done with, man. All right, all that shit is about to be done with, man. The one who created us, all right, he's about to send his son back, man. All right, to put our minds, more importantly, back to where it need to be. All right, so the earth can go back to where it need to be, man. Because a lot of you people are just proud in the motherfucker. A lot of you people think that you was born just to live. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have, like the Lord didn't have no reason for why there's over 5,000 veins in your body, but just for you to do whatever the hell you want to do. No, man. All right. Slocky, give me 1 second. This is Proverbs 16:4. The Lord hath made all things for himself. You see, that's including you heathen nations. That include the Edomites, and that include the Israelites. Right? The trees, the water, the plants, everything you fucking see, the Lord created for his damn self, first and foremost. All right? The Lord hath made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. Okay? So, yeah, so he going on this tangent, right? Saying all this shit, but he don't even know that the Lord did create the elites of this world to be wicked. Yes. Yes, because the sins of this place had to reach into heaven, meaning that they had to shed enough blood for the Lord to bring destruction and be justified. All right, because he is a balanced power. All right. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You see? So what more do you need to hear, man? All right. But again, these people have been taught by these so-called Christians, right, and scholars, right? But they missed the mark. All right. They missed what could have saved all this time now. All right. Because a lot of people is going to come to this realization at how evil this place is, and they're going to begin to crash out. All right. And that's why the scripture says what? Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. All right. Because while y'all was making fun of us, all right, calling us bums and detaching from this world, right, going through hell now. All right. So we won't have to go through the same hell that y'all about to go through. All right. But you're going to see, all right, it was all for the better benefit. All right. Because I would rather catch hell on this side. I would rather live live a very hard life right now, right? While the world is evil, right? Than to have to die with these motherfuckers and then be born back into the kingdom. I want to see everything. All right, I want to be a part of that, Lord will. Okay, so hey, a lot of our people not even gonna have that option. All right, a lot of our people don't even understand that they're characters. All right, and they don't even understand that no matter how hard you plan, no matter how hard you prep, no matter how much you read and prepare yourself, your your day, your time, your hour, and the way you go out is already written. It's already accomplished, and that's only coming from the Heavenly Father. So why not get right with Him to kind of give you a better odds that the way you go out, all right, it's not going to be painful or it's not going to be something to be ashamed of. All right. But again, these people, they don't know the Lord. All right. So they don't even know how to even come at the situation. All right. They more mad at the situation than trying to get themselves together so they won't be a part of the situation.
About Armageddon. They openly admitted it. The commanders to their troops said it was to bring about Armageddon. It was to bring about the return of Jesus to the world. Now, there's two things to say.
And he right. And he right. You see? And listen, they're mad because they're basically admitting that they're Edom without saying it. They're basically saying that they're Esau without saying it. All you gotta do is go to Obadiah, what's that, verse 21, if I'm not mistaken. It's a clear indication that when the Lord come back, it's going to be Edom, Esau, Edom in power. Who in power right now? The so-called white man. Ain't no other nation in power, right? The U.S. and Russia got everything on lock. And both of them are what? So-called white people, bro. All right? And they're going to be warring, all right? And the Lord is going to come back, okay, and finish off all these militaries, all right? And then he's going to start cleaning up the earth, putting all you heathens in subjection, all right? And the elites, I think they go back to what, Isaiah, I want to say 13. I may be off, though, but basically that their kings and nobles is going to be, is going to wear feathers of honor, all right? So we're going to put them in captivity, all right? But they're basically, that's why the Lord has allowed them outside of America to build these big ass bunkers. All right, because that's going to be their jail until we able to put our hands on them. If I'm a part of the elect. All right, but we got to better get ready to close this out. All right, but they don't understand that, or they don't want to be the nation to bring home this World War III. All right, but hey, did nobody choose what role to play in the Lord's movie? All right. Let's get I had another one. It just escaped me, Slocky. But let's get the second edge of 7. Let's see what 42 do. Second Esdras 7 and 42. He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. All right, and does not glory is dim here. All right, you Americans is a bunch of people that hate the right shit. Right, we live in a time now to where there's no glory. All right, there's no glory to be a man. There's no glory to be a father. There's no glory to be a woman. Right, there's no glory to have a family. Matter of fact, if you have any of these things, it's going to make you an enemy. All right, because there's more people that's hating on it right now than it is glorifying it. All right, so yeah, so America is right. It's right for the picking. All right, but it says, 2 Esdras 7 and 43, it says, but the day of doom should be the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. All right, because again, he was yelling about the shit that Trump them involved in with these little girls and all this shit and all that. All right, all that corruption is fitted for you so-called white people. All right, so we're not mad about it. We're happy to know that this is not the end. This is not the end of everything, because the Lord just said here, all right, that the day of doom should be the end of this time. All right, so those missiles being shot off in America being destroyed is going to signify the end of this time. The end of who time? Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All right, what's that? Romans 9. All right, so basically, when the missiles destroy America, that's going to signify the end of the white man ruling on in the earth. All right, that's what that signifies, and in the spirit they know it. That's why they get mad at Trump for doing these things, because now their reality is becoming what we've been preaching. All right, but again, 2 Ezra 7:43. But the day of doom should be the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality to come, wherein corruption is past. Right, and niggas ain't living forever right now. All right, so we know that this is what to come. It ain't happened yet. All right, so with that, I praise that it was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and give a double honor to the elders, and to the apostles of GMS Great Millstone. Shalom.